Yeah, this is Point Izzy on the Grizzly. You know what I'm saying? Coming in hard and off the card. You know what I'm saying? When we even look at, what I'm saying, Hillary Clinton, under bullshit that she was doing. But we gonna move on from that garbage because, what I'm saying, they're gonna do the bullshit they do anyway. You know what I'm saying? So now we're looking at um today. This is PBNN. You know what I'm saying? Still on it, taking up from what we saw left over the last time we was talking about Hillary Clinton. You know what I'm saying? With her dusty behind and the garbage that they do. But we see exclusive coming in on the news. We see exclusive. Georgia prosecutors have a message showing that Trump team, Trumpy baby, team is behind the voter system breach. That's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? When you didn't even let them get into ballot boxes in the different places, and they were complaining about the voting machines to begin with. So what is this clown ass looking Arab or Mexican dude up here talking about in the bullshit that he wants to be running his mouth about, talking about Trump them did this and Trump them did that. But this is coming in by Zachary Cohen and Sarah Morey, CNN Lion Ass News, of course, 9 hours ago, Eastern Standard Time. You know what I'm saying? Eastern Standard Mark Zuckerberg time. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, we see in Atlanta, we see Atlanta. Um, where's my joint? Where my joint? Where my joint? We see Atlanta, area prosecutor investigating the efforts to overturn the 2020 election results in Georgia are in possession of text messages and emails directly connecting members of the Donald J. Trump legal team to a early January 2021 voting system breach in Coffee County. Source tells CNN News. Fulton County District Attorney Fannie Wells is expected to speak. You know what I'm saying? Is expected to seek charges against more than a dozen individuals, which 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 her team presented its case before the grand jury next week. Several individuals involved in the voting system breach in Coffee County are among those who may face charges a in the spiraling criminal probe. That's still bullshit to me because the demon Democrats have been breaching and cheating voting machines for years, throwing out ballots. You know how many ballots they found that the demon Democrats threw out just in order to cheat elections, throwing out ballots in a garbage can and all type of shit. It ain't just the voting machines. You know what I'm saying? They were throwing out ballots. They be doing this shit all the time. This is the way they do. And then when they can't get certain things done, they want to bump people off. You know what I'm saying? From what we see in the whole operation of the garbage that they do. You know what I'm saying? So we wanted to know how it is that they were complaining about voting machines, but seems to be the one who was doing the breaches of the voting machine, which doesn't make sense. Which doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? But Fulton County District Attorney Fannie Wells is expected to, to seek charges against more than a dozen individuals, when her team presents the charges, in the criminal probe. Investigation into the Georgia criminal probe have, a long, it have, I guess a probe have long, long suspected the breach was not an organic effort sprung organic effort sprung from a systematic, uh, I guess, sympathetic or whatever they want to call it, sympathetic Trump supporters in a rural and heavily Republican Coffee County. The county, a county Trump won by nearly 70% of the votes. they have gathered evidence in indicating it was a top down push by Trump teams to access sensitive voting software, according to the pro familiar with the situation. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, the Democrats been doing the same bullshit and even worse. You know what I'm saying? And you gonna come up with this shit talking about how they did. So how come they couldn't go in the ballot boxes? How come we couldn't find the ones you threw out in the bush? How come we couldn't find other ones that were this, the ones that were that? You know what I'm saying? We're not even going on all the other shit that was mentioned based on, wet water wetting and all that kind of shit. We don't need to do that. We don't need to do that. You know what I'm saying? Just the fact of you using the electoral college to cheat the election is enough for me, because that's a strategy that you have been using for quite a long time. You know what I'm saying? To cheat elections from right under individuals who you do not favor in the Republican Party or any. This is bad politics altogether. Whether it's Trump, whether it's Biden, whether it's creepy Hunter Biden, his family, Russia, all over the world. When we have this type of carrying on, we see the criminality in its deepest order. You know what I'm saying? While they claiming some kind of superiority, piece of shit, garbage. You know what I'm saying? We see the same nonsense within that aspect. You know what I mean? We see that. We see the same thing in the aspect of that. So when we look at the fact that we see the same aspect in itself. So any probe and this investigation is no more than another set of trying to demonize the Republicans by all means. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a damn what evidence you have. Then let's bring up all the evidence that ever existed based on what the demon Democrats have done for the last 47 years. And let's get all the records and all the bullshit put on the table. And then the Republicans can do the same. You know what I mean? But at the same time, we do need that to happen. You know what I'm saying? Where we see more of what's going on in our government than ever before. Because to just simply say, hey, was to simply say that the government was, I got to check my kids sometimes, because sometimes they be screaming like a motherfucker. You know how kids do. I used to do the same thing. No discrimination. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, we look at that. We need to see everything that's in our government. You know what I mean? Not just keep accusing every time we turn around a new accusation comes up. You know what I'm saying? Where's the accusation on the creepy Joe Biden administration and the garbage that they're doing? You know what I'm saying? We see bank accounts filled with cash opening without, consent at the time. You know what I'm saying? We see a lot of that going on lately when it comes to the banks, of course. I guess the banks are too big to fail, but not the people. You know what I'm saying? That was money that fresh models, and I can't believe people even let Trump. I mean, not Trump. What's his name? Sweet Bombama. You know what I'm saying? Say some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Out of his mouth, talking about Obama, he did something good for our country. He ain't did a damn thing good except fuck it up even more. You know what I'm saying? Talking about Obama and all that bullshit. This so, but bank accounts filled with cash are opening without consent at one of America's largest banks. Resort reports dozens of them. You know what I'm saying? This is a new thing they do now too. Can't get past a certain point when they don't want you to know too much. Like, they fooling you, man. You know what I mean? But we see dozens of people say unauthorized accounts in their name are being opened at one of America's largest banks with mysterious deposits showing up in some. One Arkansas man in particular said someone opened an account in his name at Wells Fargo and deposited thousands of dollars, NBC reports. Mm, okay, as we see in the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? As we see in the bullshit. But we see here where Republican Republicans furious after DOJ gives them what they want. They are furious after the DOJ gave them what they wanted. This is coming in by Thomas Kika, looks like, on the 8/13/2023 at 10:17 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You know what I'm saying? Eastern Standard Time. But we see here where several Republicans in Congress have been called out for slamming slamming the appointment of the special counsel in the Hunter Creepy Joe Biden investigation, despite them previously advocating for the same appointment. On Friday, Attorney General Merrick the Nutcase crooked ass Baphomet Garland appointed Dave West or whatever Wesley or whatever his name West, I guess West or whatever his name is, as a special counsel overseeing the long-term investigation into the allegations criminal conduct of the Hunter Creepy Joe Biden. They put the wrong guy on the investigation because he ain't gonna do shit except talk shit and cover shit up. The son of the creepy ass president, as well as the creepy ass son, with a WEISS, you know what I'm saying, is his name, a U.S. attorney for the Delaware, appointed by the president Donald J. Trump, you know what I'm saying, was previously overseeing the probe, which began in 2018, but will now have extended legal jurisdiction in his new role. You know what I'm saying? From what we see. But in June, you know, Mr. WEISS, whatever his name is, who was retained by the Creepy Joe administration, you know, the creepy administration, reportedly to avoid a interference, appearance of interference, charged the president's son with failure to pay the federal income tax, same thing they accused Trump of. I wonder, you know what I'm saying, and illegal possession of a firearm leading to a negotiated sweet deal. I wonder how. Okay, a nice sweet sugar deal. As a as referred to by the Republicans between Hunter Creepy ass lawyers and the federal prosecutor. That plea agreement, that plea agreement never came to its fulfillment, its a fruit, I guess call it fruition or fruit. Yeah, I guess you call it fruit. What? Fruit Fruitations? I guess. You know what I'm saying? However, as both sides reached a legal impasse in late July, Wednesday, the question of the sweeping immunity entered the conversation during the hearing in a Delaware courtroom. But in response on Friday, the appointment, several Republicans came forward to criticize the decision. Senator Marshall, whatever his name, Blackburn, of Tennessee, in a post to X, formerly known as Twitter, decried the move on Saturday, alleging that Garland appointed David West as a special counsel because he knew West would protect Hunter creepy as Biden. I just said that same shit. You know what I'm saying? But I said the same shit. There go that room I was looking for. Oh yeah. The cloud may not be ready. Yeah, we see the room though with all those different machines that you like to broadcast so much. But we see, where America, in itself appointed David West a special counsel because he knew he would protect this idiot. You know what I'm saying? In more ways than one. We could still see the bullshit in itself all the way around the board. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? But this is how this country and many other countries is run. It's so big and vast and wide that when you're looking for answers, as a concerned citizen in your country, for some reason, you would be left out in the dust and what we would call uh, uh, individualized. So basically, in more ways than one, rather than becoming a model citizen or a model person in your society to bring forth the greatness and the goodness that would be, you know what I'm saying, you get individualized, you get focused out on, you get spied on, you get all types of shit that come your way if you're not careful, and then one day they might even kill you. So where so that's telling you right there that the powers that be in all the realms of these countries and shit is garbage. Let's just be honest. It's garbage. And it's a detriment to the people. It is. Because because you can dig holes into the ground. You can do secret missions. You can have alien ships or whatever you picked up and doing this. You can have the cloning field. You can have all types of different shit going on secretly that we do not know about. Matter of fact, sometimes nor do we care because it might make us throw up. So that's not the concern. But that shit right there goes to show the garbage in which many governments and government leaders will stoop to in order to keep the beast in power. You know what I'm saying? And this garbage going upon the people's head. And then when you hear X amount of 23 to 2,000 people, shot or killed, or 2,000 people, and the death toll goes on even in the black community. You know what I'm saying? We see a lot of this killing going on, and it continues to roll and roll. So that tells us the systematic vibe as to who is in charge based on the garbage that is done and how it's done in a schematical ways. So we have to start to look at that. But when we look, however, Blackburn post went viral, receiving over 2 million views in this matter, reviewing 2 million views in this matter. As of Sunday morning, you know what I'm saying, among political circles on the X, after a community note was added, nothing that she was among that she was among. They saying nothing that she was among the. No, I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? The community note was added, noting that she was among the over 30 Republican senators to sign off on a letter, last September, calling for West to be appointed as a special counsel. The letter, the letter said that West they're saying that West would be able to provide additional assurance to the American people that the Hunter Creepy Biden investigation is free from political influence. You know what I'm saying? Which is bullshit. You know what I mean? Among among the other senators now criticizing West appointed, appointment despite signing the letter, or letter, or Lindsey Graham of signing the letter, or Lindsey Graham of the what the fuck? Despite signing the letter, or Lindsey Graham of South Carolina, and Chuck Grassley of Ohio, this is a political decision by the Creepy Joe administration, crooked ass. You know what I'm saying? To fix the political problem in their crooked ass. You know what I'm saying? I think they poured gasoline on a political fire. Yes, they did. Graham said during an appearance on, News Nation, Mr. West team needs to be replaced with a new set of eyes. hmm So we see, speaking, with Fox News, Grassley acknowledged that he had signed the letter, while also saying that, he now has some questions about West's doing it. You know what I'm saying? Of course, because this is the way the game is played. Y'all go back and forth with the garbage between each other, and you do a whole lot of shit according to the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? According to the bullshit. Same as we see in Africa. You know what I'm saying? You hearing about slavery still going on over there and all type of bullshit it is so. You know what I'm saying? While over here we playing as if like, it's all sweet and dandy and everybody else that ain't us here right now in this area or this place or this that individualized amongst the gang or whatever groups you follow, you know what I'm saying? Fuck everybody else. You know what I'm saying? What a way to think of the world in which you live. You know what I'm saying? And we see that bullshit. Like I said, many people, it's right now, it's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. A person can be completely wiped out or life gone because he got in some shit or said some shit and then somebody come over and ice this. And so on and so on. This type of behavior has really disenfranchised the world as a whole, and there is no other way to look at it. We see the extreme heat affecting third of the U.S. residents Sunday focus forecast shows. You know what I'm saying? This has gotten to be really, something that I believe that has a lot to do with government intervention. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, we see even what happened in Hawaii or Honolulu or whatever. But we see Congresswoman asked to protect Hunter, Hunt, Hunter and archery. The what? And archery programs in school. Okay, good for them. You know what I'm saying? She fights to protect hunting and archery in school. That's right. They should not take that out of school because, as people on the planet Earth, we must start to look at the skills in which we build. You know what I'm saying? You can't leave, see a person that way. But we see Mike Pence. We see here where his we see where they say that Mike Pence in this one, it seems that he and Mother Hatchet, him and Mother Hatchet, a a nifty deal for a campaign ad. However, it has only fueled new sentiments that he is stuck on empty. You know what I'm saying? An attempt to be, you know, the average Joe. Mike Pence, let it go. Come back another year and try this again. You know what I'm saying? Try this again. But we see a 90-year-old Kansas newspaper, owner dies after police raided his home and business. You know what I'm saying? Which is unusual in itself. They raided his home and his business. You know what I'm saying? But raided her home over a story tipped about a well-connected person. Well, the same thing we saw with Hillary Clinton and the girl on the Alec Baldwin movie that he was making. We see Kenneth, in more ways than one, Nehemiah, one day ago. We see where the Kansas, raided a local newspaper after it got a tip that a local restaurant owner had a DWI. You know what I'm saying? But we see Marion County Records publisher said the raid will have a chilling effect on the newsroom. Yes, it will. The National Newspaper Association said the raid unthinkably in a what are you saying? The National News Association said the raid is unthinkable in an America that respects the First Amendment right. That is true, but that goes to show the garbage in which is brewing that we have allowed based on sucking balls. You know what I'm saying? There is no immunity for color or race anymore. And it never was. It was just a way of psychologically using you like how they're using these dumb black idiots talking about they demon Democrats. You know what I'm saying? You have been done the same way. This is why they were so interested in bringing down any connection of black people to the Republican Party or putting the Republican Party in its power that it should have been. You know what I'm saying? And even if it was, they made sure that they destroyed that in all ways. So therefore, that they always seems to have the grip and the gripe and the rule. You know what I'm saying? And we must take this down. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a flying fuck if it's a Republican, or I don't give a flying or not, as long as it's not a demon devil, and they need to be removed from our government. They are demonic entity. This is why they name themselves Democrats. Don't give me that bullshit. The first word in the word demon Democrats is DEMO. You know what I'm saying? What's missing? The N? You know what I'm saying? But anyway, and you got the word you know what. But we don't need to go down that road because you should know that by now by looking at the many things that they have done. You are too busy worrying about only you. Nobody else in the world matters other than you following and licking balls as an individual for the group in which you follow. You know what I'm saying? We have to start to look at this thing the same way they did coronavirus to us. You have to start looking at this as a global overstanding in all ways and be prepared to do investigation in its all, because this is the reason why it wasn't. We knew about the different things that were going on in Africa. We knew about the bullshit, all of it. Even before the internet took an explosion and shit, I knew about. I told people about that. You know what I'm saying? That they were still doing garbage in Africa. I used to tell them from time to time different things. But you know what I'm saying? Like I said, as long as people over here getting high, drinking beer, hanging out in my neighborhood all day, you know what I'm saying, not really doing much anyway, you know what I'm saying, in Ross Valley, you know what I'm saying, when I used to live in St. Thomas, you know what I'm saying, and not really doing nothing. Now and again you see them read a little newspaper and get a little political, but that goes away. And then, sometimes you see some of them get interested and then you try to do something, but you don't have enough of it at the time in order to put it forward, you see. So a lot of times, that gets slips away. And in the end, nothing gets done. That's the whole matter of how the psyche is run. You can talk all that jazz you want, because I remember not too long ago, many Caucasians and things were talking about white supremacy, superior, ready to call a black man a nigger, and all kinds of shit and monkey and all that. But when we do the DNA, the evidence, and all this shit put together that now can be exposed on a worldwide scale, that comes to light that it's garbage and it's not true. And then but we never saw that actually go the other way. And then when we see it go the other way, we see scientists that who wants to control the narrative will get up there and say, oh, that's not true. And all that bullshit looking like Jack 2 fuck Bean. You're lying ass. You doing that to cover up the DNA in which is in you as well. Such as you created the same thing with Egyptologists and many other scientific groups to do the study of African people and Africanism in America and brainwash our mind to think that what you bring back to us and say is true in its fullness and all ways. No, it is not. It never was, and it never will be. That's why you keep Egyptology. Who pays attention to Egyptology meetings and shit like that in this American public? How many people actually take time out to go down there and get into the conference with these Egyptology fake ass motherfuckers and sit there and listen? Only the wise ones will do that. Only the wise ones that need that information in order to show the proof that they're full of shit, you know what I'm saying, might be there because they have the prestige, the status, the study, and the time. But we know that they were using Egyptologists and many other people to tell the history and the plight of our people to their people, and American people that are born here, that are black, that were born here, and all they know is what they taught them in school. But the concept is, where did you get it from? You know what I'm saying? Where did you get school, even the concept of school? Where did you even get the concept of a Jesus Christ? Where did you get the concept of any type of religion? You know what I'm saying? Just not too long ago, you didn't have the type of cell phone you had in your hand. You know what I'm saying? You had something else. So we know bullshit is at its best.